Hey, happy Wednesday, and thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and I'm not going to be a total broken record today. We do have some showers and storms around that'll break up a little bit of this very dry pattern that we've been locked into and that we're going to be locked into for the next week plus. But for today, at least, we do have some scattered showers and thunderstorms around. In fact, we've got a few of those already along the eastern plains. But for now, here in the Denver area and across much of the urban corridor, it remains dry, it remains hot, and will probably stay dry here in the immediate metro area. I think today we stay dry, and still a chance, maybe 20-30% shower storm here in town. But again, I'm not looking at too much here in town, but might notice overhead a little bit of those fair weather cumulus clouds bubbling on up, telling us we got a little bit of something in the air, and those will give way to some showers and some storms east of town, mainly later on this afternoon. And again, a few of those already around this morning. Isolated storms today. A few of those could be on the stronger side. I think damaging winds will be the main concern with any storms that we do see. And then after that, here, folks, we're going to turn into the Sahara Desert for the next 10 days. It is going to be bone dry, temperatures 90 plus for basically, again, into the start of September. I know we're changing seasons here. It is going to feel like the smack dab middle part of July for the next week plus, starting tomorrow. Now, really should say today, it's still going to be 90 plus here in Denver today. It's just, again, tomorrow at least we'll have, or today we'll at least have the chance for some showers and storms tomorrow. We will be talking about much drier conditions. Now, speaking of those storms today, we do have in eastern Colorado a marginal risk. That is a level 1 risk on a 0 to 5 scale in terms of that potential for severe weather. And that goes from roughly, we'll call it Fort Morgan and Lyman points east of there. We do have that chance for damaging winds, our main concern in those areas. A little line of showers and storms in the far eastern plains. Do have some lightning strikes just the east of DIA out by kind of Bennett, Strasburg, and along I-70 there. We are seeing some lightning strikes, but otherwise just a few showers that are dissipating. This is not the main band of action, though. It's later on this afternoon that we're expecting kind of the main core of showers and storms to develop. And you notice that little red dot there around Lyman, Hugo, that area on the eastern plains. That is where we're going to be talking about the potential for some damaging winds and some stronger storms later on this afternoon and this evening. And by the way, notice 9-10 o'clock tonight, eastern plains, still some showers and storms around. Again, 1 or 2 of those could still be severe come 8-9 o'clock tonight. So maybe in the eastern plains, you have the chance for some showers and storms that could last after dark tonight. But for the urban corridor, we probably stay dry. Closer look in here. Again, we'll have some cloud cover around mid-afternoon. That will keep temperatures a little in check for our day today. And then as we get into about 5-6 o'clock, those showers and storms probably stay just to our east. I still won't rule out. I know our forecast computer model, what you're looking at here, is fairly underwhelming. It's not that impressive. I still wouldn't rule out 1 or 2 of these showers that do pop up in or close to town. So again, wouldn't completely rule out the chance for a storm for us here in town today, especially on the eastern and southern sides of the metro area. But for most of us, we probably stay on the dry side, and then certainly by tonight will be long dry. Temperatures, of course, the other big story for us, already up to 90 in Ray, 83 here in Denver. We're heading up to our 57th day at 90 or above later on this afternoon. 84 for us in Grand Junction, and a little cooler as usual on up into the mountains. So today, isolated storms mainly east of town. We do have some cloud cover this afternoon. That'll keep those temperatures maybe a tick cooler than yesterday's 93 degrees. Will be 91, 92 here in Denver, depending on when those clouds roll on in. Partly sunny skies, and again, temperatures in the low 90s. By the way, we're normally in the low to mid 80s. We're about 83, 84 this time of year for our average highs. So we're about 10 degrees above average. We're talking about these temperatures in the lower to middle 90s. Mountains, 70s and 80s. Grand Junction at 95. Notice the western slope on the warmer side. Moab 96. That's where the core of our ridge of high pressure is going to be for much of the week ahead. And that's why western Colorado in particular could be talking about record-setting temperatures, and maybe even in Grand Junction flirting with 100 degrees later on this week and this weekend. It is going to be an absolute scorcher out that way. I mentioned how today we're likely heading up to our 57th day at 90 or above so far this year here in Denver. For context, our 30-year average is 46 days at 90 or above. The record is 75 Don't think we quite get there. I know there's been a little buzz about us maybe getting there. I think it's unrealistic. Our average last 90-degree day of the year is normally in the first week of September. September has turned notably warmer and drier here in Colorado in the last 30 years or so, with the exception, of course, of the September 2013 flood. Point being is that even with September's turning notably warmer in the last 30 years, I think it's unrealistic for us to get another 18, 19 days at 90 or above. So worth noting that I don't think we're going to get to the record, but we'll finish top 3 almost for sure in terms of that figure. Now, tomorrow, 94 degrees for us here in Denver, so certainly another 90-plus day on tap for us here in town. And then tomorrow we really turn a lot drier, basically 0 rain chances for us for our day tomorrow across the entire state, and that does include us here in the Denver area, of course. Temperatures much cooler on up into the mountains as usual, 70s and 80s for the most part. And again, those showers and storms that we've got today, well, for your day tomorrow, just a little bit of cloud cover, maybe a stray shower in eastern Colorado. That will pretty much do it, and that is thanks to this big honking ridge of high pressure building on in. It will be centered over Utah and Arizona, so we're on the fringes of it here in Colorado, but enough of an influence from it that it'll keep us dry and warm for basically the foreseeable future. The next 7 to 10 days, it is just looking absolutely scorching for us here in Colorado and really statewide and also for us here in the metro area. A few isolated storms possible here on Saturday. I'm not too impressed with those storm chances. It would be kind of Friday night, Saturday, where we will leave in the chance for an isolated storm for now. Otherwise here, folks, it's a lot of sunshine and it's a lot of temperatures at 90 or above. And today, by the way, August 31st, of course, the end of the month, that marks the end of meteorological summer. So meteorologists, we define the seasons by full months for consistent record keeping, right? Because September, because the date of summer and fall, that changes per year, right? Sometimes it's September 21st, for example, that fall officially begins. Sometimes it's September 23rd. This year, September the 22nd. And for that reason, meteorologists, we define our seasons by full months. And so today is the final day of the month, which means it's the final day of meteorological summer, which is June, July, and August. And this will finish, meteorologically speaking, as Denver's 3rd warmest summer on record, and 3 of the 4 warmest summers on record have taken place in the last 3 years. And how about this? The top 5, the entire top 10 list within the last 30 years. And so obviously this is a byproduct of our warming climate, and we're seeing those impacts of it right here and now with a very warm week ahead. That in itself is not due to climate change, but just the overall scope of this very warm stretch that we've been locked into for seemingly forever, right? It's been a very warm summer. Yes, we've had a bit of a cool down in the last 2-3 weeks or so, but we did have our hottest start to an August on record. The first half of the month was the hottest first half of an August on record. So again, it's just been so consistently warm all summer long. We're feeling the impacts of it now. We're unfortunately not going to change that here as we head into the month of September. But as usual, if you're wanting fall, I know on that 7-day forecast you didn't see anything that resembles fall in the next 7 to 10 days. I'll leave you with this. Remember, here in Colorado, we don't have those gradual starts to fall. We crash in, right? It's going to go from 80s, 90 degrees down to, next thing you know, it'll be 35, maybe even 30 degrees and snowing. So that's how fall happens here in Colorado. So if you're hoping for some pumpkin spice-like weather, I assure you, even with the forecast in mind, it's not that far away. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight there. Meantime, meteorologist Lauren Robinson will have an update coming up at 9 News at noon. Chief meteorologist Kathy Sabin's in at 4 and 5 today, and then meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Stay cool out there. Watch out for some of those storms on the eastern plains, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.